Education is the movement from darkness to light. The struggle you are in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. With these words, welcome you all to ABS Creations by your educationalist, Chandrakala. Take action. An inch of movement will bring you closer to your goals than a mile of intention. An educational channel with moral values. If you have not subscribed the channel, press the bell icon and subscribe it to receive the notification. Thank you. In the last video, we have dealt with how the civil disobedience movement has been launched and how it is different from that of the non-corporation movement. In this video, we will see how different social groups participated and saw the movement. Why did they join the movement? What were their ideas? What did Swaraj mean to them? All these we'll deal in this video. So different social groups who participated in the civil disobedience movement. They can be categorized to the areas of rural as well as the urban areas. Rural areas comprises of villages, whereas urban areas includes towns and cities. So when we go with rural areas, who participated? The participants in the civil disobedience movement are the rich farmers or the landlords. Whereas the poor peasants, so in the rural areas, that is in the village areas, who participated in the civil disobedience movement? They are the rich farmers or the landlords and the poor peasants. Whereas in the urban areas, we can see the industrialists. They are the industrial owners. And another group of people are the industrial workers. So industrialists and the industrial workers, they participated in the civil disobedience movement. Commonly in the rural areas as well as in the urban areas, women participated in the civil disobedience movement. So the participants of the civil disobedience movements, today we are going to see about the rich farmers or the landlords, poor peasants, industrialists, industrial workers and the women participants. Among all the various social participants, the women were considered as the largest participant in the civil disobedience movement. Now we will see how the rich farmers or the landlords involved themselves in the civil disobedience movement. The two important peasant communities who were rich, they are the Patidas of Gujarat and the Jats of Uttar Pradesh. These were the two important rich communities who involved themselves in the civil disobedience movement. Who were they? They are the producers of commercial crops. So the rich peasants of like Jats and Patidas, they were the producers of commercial crops. As they were cultivating the commercial crops, they were exporting their crops and they earned a lot of profit. And even they were considered as the highest payer of revenue to the government. But this rich group of peasants is also affected by the great economic depression. How they have been hardly hit by? They have been hardly hit by trade depression. Because of trade depression, there was a falling in prices. Because of trade depression, falling of prices for the crops. So these group of people, rich peasants, it became impossible for them to pay the revenue to the government. As it was impossible to pay the revenue to the government, they kept a demand to the government stating that for the relaxation of revenue. But the government refused the relaxation. Government refused the relaxation of taxes or revenue. When the government refused here, these group of people, rich peasants, they involved themselves in the civil disobedience movement as an enthusiastic supporters. As these group of people, rich peasants, became the enthusiastic supporters of civil disobedience movement, they started organizing their own communities and even they forced the reluctant members, that is, the members who were not willing to participate in the boycott program. So they started forcing the reluctant members to join the boycott program. According to this rich peasants, what does Swaraj mean is that Swaraj is that relaxation in high revenues. Swaraj is that relaxation of high revenues. So, but these group of rich peasants, they have been deeply disappointed. They have been deeply disappointed when the civil disobedience movement has been called off in the year 1931 by Mahatma Gandhiji. Why these rich persons were deeply disappointed? The reason is that the relaxation of revenue has not been revised, or revenue rate has not been revised. So when again in the year 1932, when the civil disobedience movement started or relaunched here, they did not involve much in the movement, or many of them refused to participate. So this is how the civil disobedience movement has been seen by the rich peasant community. The next group of social groupers is that poor peasants. So these poor peasants, generally they were the small tenants who were cultivating the land of the landlords. Poor peasants were the small tenants who were cultivating the land of the landlords, and they were paying the rent to the landlords. When the economic depression took place, even these poor peasants have been affected. So when the depression continued, at the same time when the cash income dwindled, they were also difficult to pay their rent. They felt very difficult to pay their rent. According to the poor peasants, what does Swaraj is that it is not just lowering the revenue demand, it is not just lowering the interest of the revenue demand, but it was the unpaid rent to the landlord to be remitted. They wanted the unpaid rent to the landlord to be remitted. So in such cases, these group of poor peasants, they joined the radical movement. These group of poor peasant communities, they joined the radical movement, which was supported by socialist, at the same time communist. So the radical movement was led by socialist and the communist group of people. And at this particular period of time, the Congress was apprehensive in nature. That is, they had a fear in mind, because the poor peasants, on raising their demands, it might upset the rich peasant and the landlords. So apprehensive of raising issues, it might upset the rich peasants and the landlords. So the Congress was unwilling to support no rent campaigns. The Congress was unwilling to support no rent campaigns. So automatically the relationship between the poor peasants and the Congress remained uncertain. The relationship between the poor peasant and the Congress remained uncertain. We have seen how the poor peasants and the rich peasant involved in the civil disobedience movement. Now we'll move on to the business class people. How did they relate themselves to the civil disobedience movement? So these business class people, during the First World War, which took place between the year 1914 to 1918, the Indian industrialists and the merchants, they started earning a lot of profit. And they became very powerful. So as their sale increased due to the First World War, they earned a lot of profits and became powerful. There were no restrictions given by the colonial powers at that particular period of time. But after the First World War has been ended in the year 1918, the government of British India posed or imposed the restrictions for the Indian merchants and the industrialists. But the Indian merchants and the industrialists, they were keen on keeping on expanding their business. But the policy which has been imposed by the British government made them to get angry on the policies. And these group of people, they started reacting against the policies of British India. So as their business activities have been restricted, Their demand is that they wanted protection against imports of foreign goods. They wanted protection against import of foreign goods. At the same time, they wanted a rupee sterling foreign exchange ratio. They wanted a rupee sterling foreign exchange ratio that would discourage imports. So at this particular period of time, when their business activities were restricted, the business organizations have been formed. Business organization has been formed. One in the year 1920, that is IICC, that is Indian Industrial and Commercial Congress, and the year 1927 FICCI, that is Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. So these two organizations were led by the most famous industrialist Purushottam Thakurdas and G.D. Birla. The business organization, which has been set up in the year 1920 and 1927, and the business group of people were led by Purushottam Thakurdas and G.D. Birla. They attacked the colonial control over the Indian economy. And they were the most important supporters of civil disobedience movement when it first launched. When the civil disobedience launched first time in the year 1930, they were the most important supporters. How did they support? They supported in the form of giving financial assistance to the civil disobedience movement. They supported financially. At the same time, they refused to import or export the products. They refused to import or export the product. That is, they refused to buy or sell the product. According to them, what does Swaraj mean is that there should not be no restrictions on their business activity. There should not be any restrictions on their business activities. Apart from that, trade and industry would flourish well without any constraint. But when the civil disobedience movement has been relaunched again after the failure of second round table conference, business group of people, they never participated in the civil disobedience movement in an enthusiastic manner, or they were not uniformly joined together. They were feared of spread of militant activities. At the same time, they were worried about prolonged disruption of business and the growing influence of socialism, that is younger members of the Congress. So all these have been affecting the business activities of the business people. So their involvement in the civil disobedience movement at the second level was not enthusiastically successful. They participated in a less manner. But what is the condition of the industrial working class people in the civil disobedience movement? So the industrial working class people, they did not participate in the civil disobedience movement in large numbers, except in one region, that is Nagpur region. The industrial working class people did not participate in large numbers except in the Nagpur region. So why is it so? Because the industrialists, they came very close to the Congress, which made the workers stayed aloof. The industrialist people, they came very close to the Congress, which made the workers stayed aloof. So some workers stayed aloof. Some workers, they did participate in the civil disobedience movement by adopting the Gandhian program, such as boycott of foreign goods. According to the industrial working class people, what does Swaraj mean is that the demand was against the low wages and against the poor working condition. So Swaraj for the industrial working class people is that against low wages and the poor working conditions. So to achieve the high wages and a better working condition, the industrial working class people, they started showing the protest in the form of strikes. In 1930, railway workers, they organized a strike. 1932, dock workers and even the workers in the Chota Nagpur mines in the year 1930, they wore the Gandhian caps and started protesting against the government. So, but the Congress at this particular period of time did not support the industrial workers, and they did not include the demands of the industrial workers in the civil disobedience movement. Why they did not involve the demands of the industrial workers in civil disobedience movement is that the Congress felt that it may alienate the industrialist. It may, when the demands of the industrial workers have been included in the civil disobedience movement, it may alienate the industrialists. At the same time, it may divide the anti-imperial forces. It may divide the anti-imperial forces. So, with this situation, with this condition, there was no much relationship between the Congress and the industrial workers, as in the case of poor peasants in the rural areas. Another most important feature in the civil disobedience movement is the women category. They were the large-scale participants. The women were considered as the large-scale participants in the civil disobedience movement. During the Gandhiji Salt March, thousands of women came out of home. They involved themselves in the protest marches. How they involved themselves in the protest marches is that, following the ideas of Gandhiji, they even manufactured the salt by boiling the seawater. They manufactured the salt by boiling the seawater. And they boycotted the foreign clothes, and even they picketed the liquor shops. Because of all these activities, many of the women went to jail. So who were the most important women category who participated in the civil disobedience movement? In the urban areas, the women were from the high caste families, and in the rural areas, it is from the rich peasant household. So, which category of women participated in the civil disobedience movement is that? In urban area, it is from the high caste families, and in the rural areas, it is from the rich peasant households. So, moved by the Gandhiji's call, they began to see the service to the nation as a sacred duty of women. Moved by the Gandhiji's call, they began to see service or to do service to the nation as a sacred duty of women. But what was the increased public role? There was no radical change in the women's participation. Yet there was an increased public role. We can see no radical change in the women's participation. So what does it mean? Gandhiji was convinced by the Congress people. Gandhiji was convinced by the Congress people that the duty of the women is just to look after home and earth. The duty of women was just to look after home and earth. They should act as a good mothers, and they should act as a good wives. So, and for a longer period of time, the Congress was reluctant. Congress was reluctant to allow women to hold any position of authority within the organization. Congress for a longer period of time was reluctant to allow women to hold any position of authority within the organization. So it was keen only on their symbolic presence. So this is how the women participated in the civil disobedience movement. So now we have seen different social groups who involved themselves in the civil disobedience movement from the rural areas as well as from the urban areas. From the rural areas, it is involved by the rich peasant communities and the poor peasants. whereas in the urban areas it is because of industrialist merchants as well as industrial workers. Now you can go through these concepts again, you can test yourself and you can go through the questions here. Why did the rich peasants take part in the civil disobedience movement? And you can give 4 reasons for it. Explain the role of women in the course of civil disobedience. Why did different social groups of people join the civil disobedience? In what ways the poor peasants community showed their involvement in civil disobedience? Why the Congress was reluctant to include industrial workers as a part of its program for struggle? How did the business class relate them with the civil disobedience? So you can find out the answers, you can write your answers. If you like this video, you can share it and you can comment it. Thank you.